We just now starting.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'll email it to you.
Can you CC me on that, Dr. Brown, so I can sign in too?
You want to record this?
Yes, please. It's spinning.
Okay, let me know when you want me to push record.
Okay.
Gotta wash my face. Oh, okay, leave it too.
You want to record this?
Yes, please. So if you have us in the background, everybody, have to mute it. It's spinning. Still spinning.
Okay, I got it up now.
You have it.
Yeah, I got it up.
You were able to see the link.
Well, I just hit the tab up at the top where it says view stream on YouTube.
Can you forward that to Miss Lee? Because my computer's freezing.
Yeah.
Can you send it to me too?
Yep.
You need a copy streaming link?
Yes.
Let me know when you want me to push record. That's what you need? I sent it in chat. Did you need it in an email?
Yes. Can you send it to Miss Lee in the email? And can you CC me?
Yeah, I just sent it to both of y'all.
Oh, you did?
Okay. And then I'll just wait until we get some viewers. I think the 2 people viewing now are me and Mr. Chameleon.
Do you think we need to post that link on the 5th grade, like class story and whatnot too? Because I know that's where most of my parents go.
Yes, Dr. Golden, can you send it to the 5th grade teachers? I didn't think about that.
Yes. All right. I'll just put it in here for everybody. Oh, let me choose everybody. That's weird.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a safe, productive, relaxing Friday today. And we wanted to come to you today to share some new information regarding our fifth grade schedule and our fifth grade team. So today we'll discuss that. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and then Mr. Gomillion will give us those questions throughout this presentation. Next slide, please.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
All right. First, I want to give a pause up to our fifth grade team, our fifth grade students, and definitely our fifth grade parents. Our fifth grade students are leading the school in logins by grade. So as you can see, we have 100% of our fifth grade students logging in. And what this graph shows is the percentage of students logging into, it may be Google Classroom, to Zoom, their live lessons through Zoom. It could be My Backpack, all of those resources they're using. So we know we could not do it without you, parents. So thank you for ensuring your child is logging in every day because we are in school. We are definitely in school differently this year, but we are in school. So attendance, like you've heard on announcements all week, this is Attendance Awareness Month, but we want to keep up great attendance the entire school year. And attendance is key to close any gaps that may have occurred from the early shutdown of last year, and to close any gaps that just may be there, and to keep our students progressing towards middle school. So again, we truly, truly appreciate your support in making sure your students are logged on. We appreciate our fifth grade team for pumping up attendance as well, and our students for being resilient and getting on every day, because I know this situation is definitely different for them. So again, please continue logging on every day. Next slide, please. All right, so we're having a major change in fifth grade at this moment. So due to unforeseen circumstances, we are moving to a 3-block rotation. We will only have 3 teachers teaching those full blocks in fifth grade. So Ms. Reed will continue to teach writing, and she will add reading. Mr. Parazic, he used to teach our reading block, but he is no longer with us. So your students will get their reading and writing standards in 1 block with Ms. Reed. Ms. Jones will continue to teach math to our fifth grade students, and Ms. Adams will continue to teach science and social studies. So we wanted to come to you today to give you this information so you will know. I know you've probably seen a little change this week in preparing for this big change on Monday, but we did want to come to you to share our new schedule. So again, we are going to a 3-block rotation with Ms. Reed teaching what we call English Language Arts, which is reading and writing together, math with Ms. Jones, and then Ms. Adams will focus on science and social studies. So again, like I stated before on the data slide, it's very important that our fifth graders are logging into each block every day, because each teacher is focused on a different content area. So the fifth grade teachers will go over the schedule with you at this time.
Okay, parents. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, they will log into us for morning announcements with Dr. Vaughn and Mr. Gomillion. At 8:45, we'll take attendance, SCL, and we'll have our IB inquiry live session. From 9 to 9:55, we'll have our first block. So they'll be with remain with their homeroom teacher. And then they'll do a 5-minute break, and then they'll go to their second block starting at 10 o'clock. Second block will go from 10 to 10:55. It does differ depending on your homeroom teacher. So if they're in my homeroom, they will leave me and go to Ms. Jones for math. If they're in Ms. Jones' homeroom, they will leave Ms. Jones and go to Ms. Adams for science or social studies. And if they're in Ms. Adams' homeroom, they will leave her to come to reading or writing in Ms. Reed or my block. So that second block will go from 10 to 10:55. They'll get their 5-minute block, and then we'll go to our third rotation. Third rotation starts at 11 o'clock. From 11 to 11:55, they're in their third block. My homeroom will be with Ms. Adams. Ms. Jones' homeroom will be with me for third block, and then Ms. Adams' homeroom will be with Ms. Jones for math, that third block. We will continue to have small groups from 12 to 12:45. It's important that they log in to their small group sessions each day from 12 to 12:45. As you can see, our reading small group is only 20 minutes. So that's going to close those gaps that may have occurred with the closure of early school ending early last year, are the gaps that just are there with the kids. So it's important that they come to their small groups from 12 to 12:20 and math small groups from 12:20 to 12:45. From 12:45 to 1:15, they'll have their lunch break and work independently. And then from 1:15 to 1:45, they'll have specials. And then, of course, Monday through Thursdays from 2 to 3, they can go back to see the teachers by subject that they need to see during their office hours to get any extra assistance or help that they may need.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. And for those students that get support lessons from Ms. O'Neill, this is Ms. O'Neill's new schedule. So again, they're staying in their homeroom at 8:45. They'll have ELA, or Reading, Language Arts, Writing, with Ms. O'Neill at 9 o'clock. They'll go to Science and Social Studies with Ms. Adams at 10 o'clock. Then they have their lunch at 11 to 11:45. They'll log back on with Ms. O'Neill at 11:45, and they'll focus on iReady. From 12:15, they'll still be with Ms. O'Neill for their small group reading, and then they'll finish the day with Ms. O'Neill for math. All right, so this is a slight change in their schedule as well. Mr. Gomillion, do we have any questions addressing the schedule in the comments?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move to one of the most important aspects of this virtual learning experience. And so the fifth grade teachers will go through and explain the changes in the fifth grade playlist and the importance of the playlist.
So if you take a look at our playlist, we have been using one playlist for the last 3 weeks that includes all of our different subjects. So you'll see at the top, it's easy to see the learning targets that each class is working on, so you know exactly what your child should be learning in each class. There's also above it a space that talks about what IB unit we are on at this time, so they can start linking the things that they're learning in those content areas to what is going on in our IB units as well. There is a Learn About It section, which is explained below the title, which are going to be tasks that your student can complete to understand the content a little bit better. There'll be videos and books that they can read, articles that they can take a look at that will help them to understand what's already going on in the class. We also have a practice section, which are going to be activities that students can engage in that will help them to better understand what it is that has been going on throughout the week. Those are really, really important for students to understand what's going on and to get their, to understand the content a little bit better so that they can be successful on this evidence of learning section, which is at the bottom of their playlist. That section is one of the most important pieces that we stress to students, because these are going to be the activities that we grade throughout the, every week to see that students understand whatever has been covered in each content area. So you'll see there are lots of different links that are in the playlist, as well as instructions that link back to Google Classroom or whatever other platforms we're using for students throughout the week.
And I did want to add on to that as well, parents, that when you're looking at the evidence of learning section, to think of that as an agenda, as a calendar, to help plan how to manage their time over the week. What you'll need to do as well is refer back to the Google Classroom for anything that doesn't take you directly to that assignment. And they'll find very explicit directions on how to complete that in Google Classroom and how to turn in those evidence of learning.
And remember that the playlist is in Google Classroom at the top each week.
Awesome, thank you. So this is just a slide showing Google Classroom. And again, that evidence of learning, students do get marked present for attending, but their grades are based on what's in that playlist. So it's imperative that they're actually completing those assignments. And as the teacher stated, those directions on how to turn those documents in is located in the Google Classroom. All right, so I do want to walk through, I'm sorry, can we stop right now from Mr. Gomillion? Do you have any questions in the comments?
No, not at this time. Parents, those parents who are on, thank you for signing on this afternoon. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat, and we will gladly answer them. We spoke with your kids earlier today about the transition that's going to take place, and so if you have any questions, please ask, because we want to be sure that we have a smooth transition come Monday morning.
All right, I do want to take time to hit the parent portal because this is where you can find your students' grades. So again, you can reach out to the teacher if you want to know if they turn in their assignment, or just making contact with your child. Did you turn in your evidence of learning? But the parent portal is where you will find your students' grades. So I do want to walk through just kind of how to sign up for the parent portal. So you go to our website and there's a link right there to the parent portal. Once you log in, you should already, if you don't have a username and password, at the bottom, you'll see new user. And so you'll click new user. Next slide, please. And once you click new user, it's going to ask you for an activation key. On the website where it lists the steps to getting a parent portal access, you'll see here it says to request parent portal activation key, visit, and it'll give you a link. So you'll click on that link to get your activation key. Once you get your activation key, you'll be able to create a password and username to log in the parent portal. And so this is where you'll go for any updates, message center, any of your child's grades. We just recently posted our 4.5 weeks grades. So those grades are posted in the parent portal. If you do have any questions about your child's grades, please do not hesitate to reach out to your homeroom teacher or the content teacher. Now that 4.5 week grade, we're at the 4.5 week mark. They do have time. They have another 4.5 weeks to raise those grades. So if you find that, oh, my child has been on every day, but they haven't submitted any work, they do have the next 4.5 weeks to start working on the new playlist. So just please, please, please ensure that you're checking the parent portal to see if your child is submitting work. Or if I were you, I would just make a checklist for them every day or by Friday. Did you submit this? Did you submit that? So that you will know that they're actually turning in these assignments, because some students are logging on every day, but the teachers are not receiving the work. So it is very important for them to show us that they understand what they're learning on their own. Mr. Gomillion, I see we have a question.
Yes, there was concern about the work that was due for Mr. P today. Should they just turn it in to Ms. Reed, since she'll be taking over his class?
Okay, they can submit that in the Google Classroom and we can take a look at that. Ms. Reed can take a look at that. All right, any other questions, Mr. Gomillion? Okay.
No, that's it.
Great question. Okay, you can go to the next slide. All right, and then this just shows if you haven't updated your information in the parent portal as far as contact numbers, address, and all of that information, you can do that here. If you are new to Continental Colony, you can do that here as well, and you would actually click New Student Enrollment to update any information that you may have. All right, next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Those are all that there's only 13 on here?
Oh, yes. Now we're going to walk through just really quickly because we have the authentication process. So if you can bring that up for me, please, Dr. Godin. Once we go through we've gone through the authentication process, but some students are still showing up as guests. And so when we turn authentication back onto our classrooms, they will not be able to log into class. So it is very important that all students go through this process. So the first thing they'll do, most of our 5th graders have Chromebooks. So the first thing they'll do, they will have to go to the Chromebook app that's at the bottom of their screen. The Chromebook app at the bottom of their screen, which is a blue circle with a camera in the middle. Once they go to that particular app, it will open up. They need to hit sign in with SSO. Okay, sign in with SSO. Once they click sign in with SSO, it's going to ask them, what is the domain? The domain is Atlanta Public Schools with an S -US. And it's very important that they spell that correctly, because if it's spelled wrong, it will not let them in. So again, if it asks for the domain, it's Atlanta Public Schools -US. Then they'll click sign in. Once they click sign in, you can go down to Chromebook and click on Chromebook for me, Dr. Golden. Okay, so there's the app at the bottom of the screen. They're going to click in to sign in with SSO. Once they click sign with SSO, again, it's going to ask the domain, Atlanta Public Schools with an S-US. Then it's going to come up with their Microsoft sign-in. This is their username, which is typically their first initial last name with 4 digits at student.apsk12.org. Again, this is something you want to make sure they're spelling correct as well, because most of the students that I've been helping, it's simply just one number or one digit or one letter that's wrong. So when it says Microsoft sign in, you want to put their username at student.apsk12.org. They're going to click next. And then you'll see Atlanta Public Schools sign into your organizational account. Again, it's their email, their username at student.apsk12.org, and then their password, which is their lunch number. They're going to click sign in. Now, this is the part where a lot of students are struggling once they've gone through authentication, but they're still having an issue getting into their teacher's class. So once they go through those steps, it's going to ask them, do you want to join a meeting? Do you want to start a meeting? Do you want to launch a meeting? They don't want to do any of that. Some of them are starting their own meeting. If your child says, I can't get into class, and there's a big black screen with just their name on the front, that means they're in their own meeting. So they have to end that meeting. So they don't want to start a meeting. They don't want to launch a meeting. You're not going to hit the X. These directions are a bit misleading. You're going to hit the minimize button. So basically they're minimizing Zoom. So Zoom is still running in the background all day. Now, after they minimize Zoom, then they go to their teacher's landing page and go into the classroom. 9 times out of 10, if it does not work, they don't have Zoom up in the background. So you want to make sure that they've minimized the app and that they've gone to their teacher's landing page to log in. All right. So the teachers are turning back on authentication Friday. So you want to make sure that your child has gone through these steps. If they have not, we will post these steps again in the class dojo. So everyone will have them again, but they have to go through this process to show that they are indeed an APS student. Now, if your student has an iPad, you're going through these same steps. The only difference is they'll open the Zoom app on their iPad instead of on the bottom of their screen. All right. Mr. Gomillion, do we have any questions?
No further questions at this time.
All right. 5th grade teachers, do you want to add any additional information?
I just want to say, because sometimes on the Chromebook, when they hit the icon, the Zoom icon, it's still not working for some of them. So if that's the case, to just type in zoom.us in the search engine and then follow the rest of the steps when it comes to authenticating their accounts.
Awesome. I'm happy you added that. Yes, you can go through the browser as well if the app does not work.
I had one quick question to add. For students whose homeroom teacher was Mr. P, when will they be finding out their new homeroom?
They found out this week, and then we can send that to you, Ms. O'Neill.
Okay, thank you.
So parents, if you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out to the homeroom teacher. Any questions you may have. Again, we really appreciate your resilience, your diligence. I know this is not, this is inconvenient to have to switch the schedule yet again, but hopefully this is the end. So again, we thank you for your resilience. The new schedule will begin Monday. So all parents that were contacted and given your new homeroom teacher, they will go to that teacher right at 8:45 on Monday morning. So they'll start with Ms. Reed, Ms. Jones, or Ms. Adams first thing Monday morning. All right, does anyone have any additional information for our parents today?
just to be on the lookout for a dojo invitation for those parents who are going to be switching classes.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. So your new teacher will send you a class dojo invite. Mr. Gomillion, do we have any additional questions in the chat?
Not at this time. I think everything was addressed.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Again, thank you for your resilience and support, and have an awesome weekend.